All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Baton Rouge Regional at the Pete Maravich Assembly Center, where LSU has just defeated Florida State 101-71 to advance to the round of 16. They will face North Carolina State up in Spokane. We are joined on stage by last-year POA to my immediate left. In the middle, we have Cheyenne Day Wilson, and on the far end, we have Jada Richard. By the way, the win tonight gives LSU the most home wins in program history as they now advance to the round of 16. For those who are joining us on Zoom, welcome to Baton Rouge. If you have a question for any of the players, please hit the raise hand toggle on Zoom. We will come to you. For those of you in person, please raise your hand, introduce yourself and your affiliation and who you are directing your question to, and we will open up the floor. Ladies, congratulations. Thank you for joining us. Let's open up the floor for questions.
Chessa Boucher with NBC 33 here in Baton Rouge. POA, you were one of three that were on that national championship team. To have a game like Samaya Smith had tonight, what does it mean to you to see her success this season, especially with what she's been through?
Yeah, I mean, seeing her grow from then to now, obviously, like, she's been through a lot last year. She went through an ACL. But coming back, I know during the summer she worked hard to obviously get her knees back and be ready for the season. Tonight she performed excellent. I mean, you know, she knew her scouting report. She dominated inside the paint. She gave us rebounds that Coach been asking for. And obviously she was scoring the ball, so making the easy layups that we've been asking her. So she did amazing.
Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. For all three, we can start with last year and then work our way down. Just that third quarter, right? What was the messaging that Coach gave you guys in the locker room at halftime to have that third quarter, especially defensively, holding them to just 6 points?
I think just execution and just really like knowing our scout. Obviously coming to what's her name? Number 0. She obviously is the best, you know, scorer in the country. So just to shut her down, I think Shai did an amazing job. Really that whole third quarter and just shutting her down.
Yeah, we just went into the locker room and we're just like, all right, you know, she had a spectacular first half. So just us, just, you know, just defensively just locking in, and obviously, you know, me just taking it real personal and, yeah, just doing my job on defense.
And yes, just to piggyback off of what they said, we got in the locker room and we was just like, somebody has to take it personal. Like, I mean, she scored, I think, outscored the team in the first quarter. So, yeah, we just got in the locker room as a team and just said somebody has to take it personal. We know we can score, you know, we know we can rebound, but we got to defend. So,
Other questions for the three up here with us? Nobody else? Mike, you got another one? Go ahead.
We'll start with last year, just because you've been there, right? But if all three of you can answer, what's it mean to get back to the Sweet 16 3 years in a row now? And just the, you know, the way that you did it with some high-scoring affairs here recently.
Preparation and execution. Obviously that first year coming in, we prepared and obviously executed to the best that we could. So I think those two, and discipline is our last one. I feel like ball reversals helped us a lot as well, and just playing within each other.
You know, every game is just a step closer to our end goal. So us just really just keeping that mindset, that one game at a time, and, you know, just not worrying and looking ahead.
yeah, really just taking it one game at a time. We wanted to focus on, at first, San Diego and then, you know, Florida State. So we didn't want to look ahead to the UCLAs or, you know, people further on in the bracket. We just really wanted to focus on the opponent in front of us.
Matthew Birth on 3. Jada, that second quarter, especially with Flaugier and Michaela in foul trouble, what was it like for you to step in and with Latson scoring, you kind of going back and forth with her?
Yeah, my mindset was just honestly to be fearless in whatever way I can impact the game, whether that be just playing defense, scoring, and I mean, when I saw opportunities to score, I just took it and the ball went in. But it's honestly just contribution to just my work ethic. I stay in the gym, so I mean, whenever I'm out there, I just try to produce in any way possible.
And Cheyenne, season high assists for y'all as a team. What was going into that? How were y'all able to generate that many assists?
Moving the ball, playing as a team, and I feel like that's just going to get us far.
This is for all three guards. He kind of touched on it, but the most assists you guys have had all season. What's working so well offensively?
I just feel like us just having the 2 weeks to really just come together, You know, it's just knowing where your teammate wants the ball or needs the ball, and that's just execution, like just executing. You know, who needs the ball at the right times and just the little stuff. So I feel like we all just are coming together as a collective.
Yeah, I think with Flau'jae, Michaela, and Anissa on the court, man, it opens up the floor for literally everybody else. So you really just have to be in that moment and just ready to hit the open shot because they demand so much attention. So, I mean, people are doubling them, and, you know, we get wide open. So, yeah, you got to give credit to them.
Ball reversals. Obviously, the last 2 games, we've seen that every time we reverse the ball, we score. And I think just understanding how each other play. Like Shai said, we had 2 weeks to knuckle down on things that we need to work on, and ball reversals was really one of the main things.
I think Coach usually does things for a reason, and having the 3 of you up here obviously speaks to her confidence in you guys, right? What do these last couple of games give you as far as a shot of confidence and the ability to continue this run here in March? We could start with Cheyenne if you want.
Yeah, I feel like really people don't understand that, like, you know, point guard play is really big, especially in March. We have 3 great players, Nice, Flau'jae, and Michaela, but, you know, they can't do it all by themselves. Like Flau'jae was saying, we need all 8. So, you know, just the point guards are just do the little stuff and just kind of just control the tempo, flow of the game. So I feel like us 3, we have a big part of that. And obviously, you know, you can see it.
No, I agree with everything she said.
Last call for questions for the players. Anybody? We're good here? Ladies, congratulations on your season. Congratulations on the win, and good luck up in
Thank you.
Spokane next
Thank
weekend.
you.
We thank you for coming. And we'll do a quick reset. We'll be right back with head coach Kim Mulkey. All right, welcome back to Baton Rouge. Joined now by LSU head coach Kim Mulkey after LSU wins 101-71 over Florida State. Those joining us on Zoom, please hit the toggle if you have a question for Coach. And those here, you know the routine. Raise your hand, introduce yourself, and we will open up the floor to questions for Coach Mulkey.
Chesed Boucher with NBC 33. Coach, you called that timeout in the third and went and grabbed Samaya Smith. She looks like the Samaya Smith that started the season last year. For her to have a game like this tonight, what did you see from her?
Confidence. Sometimes they don't throw the ball to Samaya. Whether they don't have confidence in her, or just Morrow's having a great game, or Flau'jae or Michaela. But everybody was dumping it off to each other, and Samaya was finishing. She altered shots. She rebounded. She deserves that. She has worked extremely hard. She has been challenged extremely hard. And the double-double is great. But if you look at that stat sheet, she has guard numbers, 6 assists and 1 turnover. That's huge. And then Morrow, we expect that from her. She had 7 assists and 2 turnovers. In fact, I didn't have enough room to bring all of them up here. Those 2 should have been in here answering questions, but the 3 that were in here are our primary point guards, and they take a lot of the criticism. Well, they also need to be rewarded because they have played 2 outstanding games.
Brody Miller with The Athletic. You know, you talked the other day about how happy you were with the unselfishness, and then, you know, today at times looked like you were in basketball heaven with some of the passing. I guess just how much is there a development process to get there? Like, is there a point maybe recently where you realize this team is really seeing the floor well and kind of coming together?
We've had games through the year where I saw it, but we haven't done it consistently because what happens is we have our wings are as elite. They're elite, and they can come off any on-ball screen after one pass. And they're so confident in their ability, sometimes they just go up and shoot the ball, not realizing, hey, let's have a little ball reversal. I'll get you another shot. And I think when they see that happening, they realize this is fun. Scoring is fun, but winning and having everybody score the ball and contribute is just a lot more fun, and it takes you a long way. I said this in the playoffs. Everybody's got to be on the same page. And I feel like 2 games we've proven we're on the same page. Everybody's got to be healthy. I thought Flaugier might have hurt herself, but what she said happened when I took her out early, she bumped knees. She bumped knees with somebody. For those 2 to get in foul trouble and Shy to get in foul trouble, and our players on the floor, our bench players, to really just keep competing and to go in at halftime up 1, that was big for us. That was big for us. That was big for their confidence.
Bryce Kuhn from 24/7 Sports, you kind of hinted at it there, but just a lot of people are going to talk about that third quarter, but can you go back to the second quarter and just the minutes that you got when you had to sit Flaugier and obviously Michaela, and what that does for you going forward?
Well, it brings confidence to those that were on that floor. This game moves quickly. There were many times where I thought, am I fixing to have to play these 2 with 2 fouls? And I never, ever had to do that because of what they were doing on the floor. Just stay in the ball game. Keep it close. They'll be good and rested. And Jada especially. Freshman there coming in, confident, shooting the ball, defending those older players for Florida State. That was big for us.
Yeah, Coach, Matthew Brunith on 3. The third quarter, 31-6. What went into that? What, especially defensively, to hold them to 6 points after 49 first?
Just made a slight change on guard and Latson. Instead of fighting to get over the screen that they were setting at the top, go under, she makes threes, we live with it. And I don't know that she made a lot. We just couldn't keep her out of the paint and got in foul trouble because we couldn't keep her in front of us and gave up the right-hand drive in the first half. So just completely get on her right hand. When she uses that screen, go under and take your chances that she's going to miss more threes than she does free throws.
Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV at Baton Rouge. Just the job overall defensively outside of Latson. Their 2 wings were, somebody that I thought y'all would have to contend with, and you did a pretty good job with both of them.
Well, if you like offense, you kept watching that game today because you had the number 3 team in the country in scoring, and I don't know what we are, 6th or something. So you saw a lot of offense. You just needed to play a little bit of defense, I felt like, to win it. You're not going to throw a shutout when you have Latson. But I did think in the second half, I thought our conditioning was big because Flaugier and Michaela and Cheyenne were rested. They, played very little in that first half. And so they had a little more juice toward the end and were able to do things in the second half.
Hi, Coach. Tatum Esparza, USA Today. Earlier, Poa mentioned that your message to them during halftime was execution. Can you kind of expand on that and what you said to them in the locker room?
Well, the first message was to thank the team that was on the floor that kept us in the ball game, and to tell them what a good job they had done. That was the first message. And then the second message was make a few changes on how you're going to guard Latson in the screen at the top, and then just keep telling them things they did good in that first half, things you got to do better in the second half. And you're in front of me now in the second half, so I'm going to call a lot of quick hitters and get the ball where I tell you to get it at the right time. And I thought we did that. I don't think we had more than 11 turnovers. And that team doesn't turn the ball over a lot. But we did in the first half, we had some bad turnovers that they capitalized on. In the second half, we didn't do that.
Yeah, Ron Higgins, Shreveport Bossier Journal. Kim, did you think Samai had this game in her? Like, could you see this coming over the last few weeks, how in practice and the way she the chemistry she had with Morrow?
No, I can't tell you that I expected this, but when you recruit young people and you keep them healthy and they just keep plugging away, they keep just trying to get better. You know, she's had knee surgery, and so she's just trying to get back in the flow. In fact, she kind of grabbed herself a couple of times, and so I thought maybe, and then I think it was cramps in her calves, because she didn't say anything like she was injured, and the trainer didn't tap me on the shoulder to take her out. She's a quick jumper. She can really, really get up and alter your shot. What she can't do right now, and I don't know that we ever expect her to ever do it, she can't just bang with you. She's not one of those kind of post players. So do your work early. Get deflections, front, move, be physical, be tough. That young lady deserves a lot of credit today.
Jada Ferris, LSU Tiger TV. When you guys have been saying it takes everybody, and that's what the message has kind of been this weekend. When you have multiple players putting out full performances, how important is that as the tournament continues?
Well, I think Flau'jae said it in the press conference. We talk about the big three at LSU, and they deserve every bit of it. But I think they'll quickly tell you, what else can you write about them? Start writing about the other five, the other six, because this weekend they were special. Our bench was special. Our entire team was special. It was electric in there for 2 days. And you know, I can't tell you how important our crowd is, our students. 9:15 at night, you don't get to bed till midnight on a Saturday. I know the students, that's early for them, but for our season ticket holders, it's not. And then today, a lot of people had to get off work early, and then you got to fight traffic to get over here. It was electric. And I talked to them after the game. You don't take Sweet 16s for granted. There are many people that never get there. In fact, in our locker room, there's 5 that have never been there. There are 5 players on this team that have never been to a Sweet 16. 5 players that contribute. And I explained to them, this is why you came here. We don't play to just get to a Sweet 16 at LSU women's basketball anymore. That's not that we take it for granted, but our goal every year is to just make a run and see if you can get to another Final Four and see if you can upset somebody you're not supposed to upset. We weren't talked about at all when we won it 2 years ago. So let's go see what we can do.
I know you're not going to like this one, but
Then don't ask it. I'm in a good mood.
NC State, we already know that's going to be your opponent. I guess just what do you recall from that matchup in the Bahamas, and a quick turnaround for you as you head out tomorrow?
Well, I recall that I love Wes, their coach, more. Great guard play. Great guard play. We were able to beat them, and Wes was very complimentary of our team after the game. So you're going to see outstanding guard play. I think that it'll be 2 well-coached teams, and we're vying to win one more game to get to an Elite Eight. They beat some good teams in the ACC. So they're probably much better today than they were when we played them, and I hope and think that we're much better.
Time for one more for Coach, if everybody has it, right here in the front.
Anissa and Samaya really played well off of each other. Do you think that chemistry has been growing throughout the season?
Well, I think all of them are playing well together. I think they're sharing the basketball. They're getting excited when there are extra passes being made and people are finishing. It's not just the 2 of them, but yes, it helps when those 2 kind of know each other's tendencies. I thought we delivered passes into the post all night long that were not easy passes, but they caught and they finished. And that's what you have to do this time of year.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Best of luck in the next round. We will do a reset. We'll be right back, and we'll have Florida State with us in here in the meeting room in just a couple of minutes. Hey, welcome back to Baton Rouge. We're pleased to be joined by Florida State head coach Brooke Wyckoff. In the middle here, we have Tanaya Latson, who finished with 30 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists on our game tonight. And then on the far end of the table, Michaela Timpson, who had 14 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks in tonight's game. We will start by offering Coach Wyckoff a chance to make an opening comment. Then we will ask questions first directed to the players and players only. Then we'll let them get dismissed, go back to the locker room, and we'll return to questions for Coach. With that, Coach, thank you for joining us, and the floor is yours.
Yeah. Well, you know, obviously congrats to LSU, and they played a really great second half. But I'm proud of our team, what we did to get here, what we did to put ourselves in a position to be here. Proud of these two to my left. Just over and over again, the way that they've just carried this team, given their all, every single possession, just individually, but just as the way that they've led this team. And, you know, I think we have a team that really, truly cares about each other. They are a true team, and that's what I'm just the most proud of. You know, obviously hate to end the season like this, but I never wanted to overshadow all the success we've had, all the ways that we've grown, and just how proud I am of the phenomenal players on this team.
All right, Coach, thank you. We will open up the floor for questions for the players only. Please raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone to you if you will address the player you are talking to with an introduction and your affiliation.
I'm Taylor Riles, WCTV Sports in Tallahassee. KK, can you put into words what the last 4 years have meant to you here at FSU?
I would say just an incredible opportunity for me, you know, coming from a small town and being able to shine bright at this university. It just meant a lot, and I'm just blessed, and I'm just grateful for my whole 4 years here at the university.
And tonight, you had a big smile on your face for a lot of this game. Was it just kind of soaking up the atmosphere, the fact that you're in the around the 32? Like, what? I guess where'd that smile come from?
Me just being happy, regardless of the situation and what happened. I know I had my teammates back, and they had mine. That's just who I am. I'm a happy person.
How proud are you of what you guys have been able to accomplish this season? I asked Brooke yesterday if she'd still consider this season a success, regardless of the result. She said yes. Is the same kind of answer for you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very proud of my teammates and my coaches and myself. Yeah, it was a beautiful season. I feel like we grew from, past seasons, and we made a run.
Kyle Tannenbaum, USA Today. Tanaya, what do you learn from a game like this, and how do you take that moving forward?
I learned to not turn over the ball so much, play with more poise, and just keep getting my teammates involved, keep getting in the lab, working on my shot. I was 2 for 10, so that's something I need to work on. And yeah, just being a better leader.
Amanda Golson, WVFS Tallahassee. KK, you guys fought until the very end of this game. Really a testament to this team and the program. What kind of example do you hope that shows from the game tonight?
I just hope it shows who we are as a team. We was together throughout our whole season, and we want other girls to come into this program and do the same thing that we did. We put our program back where it needed to be. We had a better season than last year, and that's the goal for every team, to have a better season than you did the year before. And I'm just so proud of my teammates.
How difficult, for either of you, how difficult was this crowd to contend with tonight?
Yeah, they had a really good crowd, but it's not something that we're not used to. We're used to playing in hostile environments, so they had a good crowd. Kudos to them.
Any other questions for the players before up here in the front, please?
Natalie Hevern with The Next. Tanaya, can you just talk about what Michaela's meant to you as a teammate over the last several years?
Yeah, she's meant a lot. She's like a sister to me. I'm going to cherish every moment we've had together. We hang out a lot outside of the court, me, her, and O, so I'm just going to miss them a lot. They were like sisters to me, so I'm going to cherish this for, a lifetime.
KK, a lot of seniors, this is the end of the road, but you guys have grown tremendously throughout these past 4 years. What has that been like, growing with this core group?
I would say, I mean, it's just special. You know, my coaches believe in me and my teammates, they believe in me to the highest level, and that's where I set myself to be. You know, as a person, I try to do everything I can for each and every one of them on the team and also the coaching staff. So just being that person, that reliable person I can be, and, you know, having a lot of confidence just because of them, and I'm just so grateful for them.
Yeah. Any other questions for the players? We're good? Ladies, congratulations on your season. It was an honor having you in Baton Rouge. Best of luck in the future.
Thank you.
We thank you for your time. Thanks for coming.
Good job, ladies.
Okay, now we'll open up the floor for questions for Coach, please.
Coach, how proud are you of what you guys were able to do, especially in that first half?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said to Sanaya, you had a big smile on your face, and it seemed like you were enjoying much of what they were doing in that first half.
Yeah. I said it to them throughout the second half and after the game. I just want them to believe in themselves the way that we believe in them, and that's why it was so fun. Obviously, it was fun to think, fun that we were in the game and we were competing so well in that first half. But I just loved seeing our players feel that, like, understand and see, like, I'm competing out here. Yes, we can do this. To have the belief, to play at that level, to understand that, that is who they are. They deserve to be here. They deserve to this isn't just like, oh, we're happy to be here and yay, we made it to the second round. It's like, no, you guys are in this game because you're good. And that's really what I loved to see was them playing that hard, playing against a phenomenal team, and competing and feeling like, yeah, we're in this, and so, in the second half when LSU came out and made that phenomenal run in the third quarter, I just wanted them to keep believing. Okay, LSU is playing amazing right now. They're hitting shots. We're making a couple mistakes defensively. Like, the ball's not going in for us. But that doesn't change who you are as a player. That doesn't change the belief that you should have in yourself, in each other, and what we believe. And so that's what I'm taking from this game. That's what I'm hoping that they take, is just to get a glimpse of how good they are and can be, and to never, ever doubt any of that, no matter.
Coach, your seniors made multiple contributions on the floor in the record books, but what do you remember them most by?
Who they are. I mean, you can see, and you guys that have covered us all year, and there's such phenomenal people, and it's great to have talent, and gosh, are they talented. It's really nice to have talent, but there's always going to be hard days. There's always going to be frustrations, adversity, all the things that come with sports. And so, and just in life, like, you want to be doing stuff, the hard stuff, with people that are great people that you want to be around. And that's what these kids are. They're people that I want to be around every day. They're people that show up every single day, ready to go. Believing and ready to work hard, and with a smile on their face. I mean, and so add that to talented kids and kids that you're seeing growing year over year. I mean, it's such a joy. And again, doesn't mean it's not it's hard. It's not hard. Like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows and all of that. But that's what means the most to me, is who they are. And you can just see it in how our team has come together and how they're talking.
How does the successful run like this and such a great season carry momentum for you and the team moving into next year?
Yeah, I really believe that, and I've seen it firsthand as a coach and as a player, that you have to, it's nice to, like, just make a magical run. You've never been there before, and yay, like, we go to the Final Four, never done it before, never, like, you have to build. You have to, this group had never won a first round game. Now the kids that will be here next year, they've now felt that they know what it's like to win a first round game, to go to the second round, and now we'll be in a position to win a second round game. You have to build. And so that's what they did over these 3 years. These kids that KK's freshman year, we were in the first 4 game. We weren't even in the first round game. We lose that one. The next 2 years, we go to the first round. We lose those games. This year, they know what that's like. They know what it takes. Now we build. So now we're in the second round. And so that's really, you know, when we've been to 3 Elite Eights at Florida State, you know, and that's what it was. It was the success before those runs to Elite Eight that we built on the experience, you know, the experience kids that have been there. And so that's what I'm thankful for. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, I wish we could have won this game for sure, but I'm definitely I feel so great about what we've experienced and how we can build on that with those kids that will be back next year.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations on a great season. Brett Martell with Associated Press. So after halftime, you know, I know Smith and Morrow were already playing well, and then when Williams and Johnson come back in and the way they played, I mean, could you describe how that influenced the way the game changed a little?
They did a great job. I mean, they came back in focused and just obviously, you know, they had both of those two had to sit a little bit because of foul trouble in the first half. And so, this is a team that is a really great team. Again, a team that's been there. You know, they're going to their 4th Sweet 16 in a row or whatever it is. These kids have been there. They know what it takes, and they're really, really good players. So they came out of halftime on a mission. We couldn't get a couple stops, and then the ball wouldn't go in for us. And good teams are going to prey on that, and they're going to keep going. We just couldn't find a way to break the run, really. And so, but that's what good players do, good teams do. And, they played phenomenal. I mean, 29 assists and 52 points in the paint. That's a team that's really scary moving forward. So, again, we'll learn from it.
Natalie Heverin with the Next. What did you say to your team in that huddle on the court before you walked over to the pep band? And then can you also talk a little bit about that moment that you all had with your pep band?
Yeah. I said just what I was talking about earlier to the team. Like, I believe in them so much. They're here because they're phenomenal players. And so I never, ever want to see them not believe in themselves, and not that they didn't believe in themselves out there, but just that's a tough environment. It's a tough guy. Like I want them always, no matter, to just believe in themselves and to let them know how much I believe in them, how proud I was of them, how much I love them. You know, all the things that I really truly feel. And then our pep band and our cheerleaders, and I mean, Florida State is a family. It really is. And I know that sounds cliche, but it is such a family atmosphere. And those kids, those students in the band, the cheerleaders, they put in so much work. They've been on the road with us. They travel. They give their all, not just in this tournament, but all season long. So we have we always go over to them after every home game and do the fight song, and so it was just great to have that moment with them, be able to do that and really thank them because they're a special part of what we do.
Coach, you mentioned the importance of building. How would you like to see Tanaya build on her already great season next year?
Wow. Tanaya has she's always been a phenomenal scorer, but she is the one that wants to continue to improve in all the other categories. And I mean, it's really hard to take that much of a load offensively and know that, to score all those points, to play at the pace that she plays at. I mean, it takes a lot out of you. And so her determination to be a great defender, which she is, to rebound. I mean, today she had 7 rebounds, 3 offensive. It's doing all of those things. I know she wants to just keep improving. Like she's never satisfied. She really took a step this year statistically in rebounding and steals. Just her attention to the defensive end. And so that's what I know she wants. She does not see a limit on what she can do. So 30 points tonight in only 30 minutes. It's pretty freaking good. But she's not satisfied, as you said, or as she said. And so I know that we'll continue to see her just build in all those other areas as well. Statistically, she can do it.
Brooke, in that first half, with how you guys played, with the situation being round of 32 and with the atmosphere, was that among the most fun you've ever had as head coach of this team?
Yeah. I mean, I have fun there's been so many fun moments. Yes, I mean, having a big crowd is awesome. I love that for, the game of women's basketball. I think it's any time, even if it's not our own crowd, like any time that there's that much excitement around this sport, and I've been a part of a lot of those moments. It is fun. And I felt great because, as Tanaya said, we have been in those environments all year, and we've done really well in those environments. And so, yeah, I was enjoying the moment, just so proud of our kids, and yeah, it's a fun thing to be a part of women's basketball right now. It really is. There's passion from these players, and there's passion from the fans, and so I loved it, and I want to just continue to see that grow.
One last question for Coach right here in the front.
Coach, you had transfers come in and become integral parts of this lineup. What does that say about not even the culture of this team, but the portal and the opportunities that present there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and that it's the reality that we live with now, the transfer portal, and you have just more player movement now than ever at the college level, and so it can be difficult, of course, but it's also a really great opportunity that when you're able to fill, places on your roster with things that you need. But yes, it takes work, not just to bring a great player in, but for those kids to really gel and to really, and we had 4 transfers come in that were ready from day one to be a great teammate, to get to know their teammates, to make this, to work on our chemistry, to work on our culture. That's rare. It's not easy to go get great players out of the, portal. It takes a lot of work. And then once they're there, though, the work is not done. And so that's another reason why I'm just so proud of this group, because of the 8 returners that accepted and welcomed those 4 new ones, and the way the 4 new ones just really worked to make this a team quickly.
Brooke, as I told your players, it was a pleasure having you in Baton Rouge. Congratulations on your season and next year and beyond.
All right.
Thank you so much. We appreciate Brooke and the players for joining us, and we thank you for joining us for one final time. We say goodnight and sign off from Baton Rouge.